What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. All right, AMC is set to report their quarter three earnings at the close of the bell tomorrow. And I'm not going to talk numbers in this video. I want to talk about something that is even more important. This earnings season is one I'm going to remember for a long time. You have a couple things happening right now. I've talked about this in my previous videos. We are now entering a hot market. I'm going to go over a couple things that have happened in the past few weeks, and I hope you get excited by what you see. But market makers have been letting stocks run. I've talked about this before. You can go check out another video I made saying these stocks are running 100%. Every time you see a stock go up and test that resistance level, it might dip a little bit. We've just been buying the dip because market makers are letting these stocks go. It doesn't always happen. There are times we're in a cold market and there's nothing but false breakouts. And that's when trading and investing gets a little bit different. But these past few weeks, it has been completely hot. So in this video, I want to talk about something that I haven't mentioned in a while when it comes to AMC. And then we're going to take a look back at what has happened the past couple of weeks. Because if you're going to see the same thing I'm seeing, you should be just as excited. Let's get right into it. So first off, take a look at AMC. We'll jump over really quickly to the daily chart, as I always like to show the daily chart. We are looking to test that 43.44 level of resistance that we bounced off of. This is a good technical setup because as you can see, we came up, we tested it, and we're starting to curl, making a higher low. But let's take a look at the past 5 days. Now, if you are inside the group, you know that pretty much all of my pre-market picks have been earnings calls lately because these stocks are gapping. And they're gapping so much that they're in a position to where, one, they're gapping down where shorts are going to exit, and it gives us a chance for a little bit of a squeeze to get a rebound play. Or they're gapping up so much that shorts are like, wait a minute, we need to get out. The guidance for these companies are good. The earnings beating the estimates is a wide gap. It's not just by a little bit. And it's happening a lot lately. I talk about this all the time. Pay attention to patterns. And if you're new to investing, do some research over the past few weeks. This is one you are not going to want to forget. But all of the picks lately, like I said, have been earnings picks, and we are capitalizing on this movement. Combine it with the market makers letting these things run. Take a look at just these came off the top of my head recently. Take a look at Expedia, 155 on the earnings, ran all the way up to 184. You take a look at Airbnb. This was another one. 167 low on the earnings. This earnings came out just a couple minutes after the close, but 167 on a low, all the way up to 203. You look at Datadog, this one as well. I think it was 166 up to almost 200 before a little bit of a pullback. Now, come on, who can forget this one? Avis car rental, Avis budget, 167 on the low on the first. This was on Monday. Okay, it came up a little bit. It wasn't even gapping. This is one that we had to call out at around, I want to say around 9:45, 10 o'clock, because I didn't pick this up on the scanner because there was no gap happening. Once it got over $200, this thing ripped all the way to 545. This is an earnings play. This was an earnings beat. This is a COVID play. I've done these videos talking about the similarities between these two companies. And on top of it, like I said, market makers are letting these things run. Last thing I want to mention, I'm going to give a quick correlation. Take a look at Bed Bath & Beyond. And this was the rip from about $16.50 all the way up to $32. And this was not an earnings play. And I'm going to get into something even a little bit differently in just a moment. But what happened with Bed Bath & Beyond is they had done two things. One, they said they were going to have a $1 billion share repurchase program over the next 3 years. And this company only had a $1.6 billion market cap. All right, so that was big. Nextly, they said they were going to completely redefine their business, which is trying to excite investors to continue. However, that's not really good news, so it didn't really hold. Plus, you have a lot of bag holders here. But more importantly, let's take a look at something a little bit different. One thing I have not covered in a long time when we take a look at Fintel. I'm going to scroll up a little bit for you so you can see this number right here. This is the ownership accumulation score. It's 165 out of over 23,000 stocks. Institutions are still holding AMC. And when you take a look at AMC on the daily chart and where these 13F filings come from, I would think that some of these institutions, if they rode this from 14 to let's say 72, okay, this happened in June, completely in quarter two. We've already closed quarter three. all right, and completely close quarter two, it means we already have that 45-day grace period that they would have closed their position, but they haven't. They hung on. So I always tend to think to myself, and after, I'm going to give you a perfect example when it comes to this. What do these guys know that we don't know? And this is perfectly, Charles Payne tweeted this, and I give 100% credit to Unusual Whales as well. Monster options trade right before the close on Bed Bath & Beyond. Great catch, Unusual Whales. By the way, the shorts looking to get waylaid again tomorrow. AMC up big too. But pay attention to this options trade right before the close. All right. And if you take a look at this right here, okay, I'll just briefly go through this, but I think it was 3,500 contracts, $20 strike came through 4 minutes before market close for Bed Bath & Beyond. And you can see it on my screen right here. Or this is the normal, I'm sorry, this is their normal premiums, not much. Then all of a sudden, a monster 219,000, okay, came through 4 minutes before the close. All right. And if you're new to options, pay attention to this as well. I'm going to give you, this is a very good thing right here. They paid above the ask. Okay. You have the bid in the ask was 56 to 59. All right. And they paid 62 cents. Okay. Or $62 per contract. The reason for this is only one thing, because if you look at the bid, 56 versus 62, that is a 10% difference. Well, why would somebody, okay, pay that high of a premium in order to get an option contract? And there's only one reason. The only reason is because they know something about this stock. They knew what was going to happen. Okay. And because there's only so much time before this goes through, they said, listen, we don't have time to mess around, all right, to try to get a 57 or 58 cents fill. We want this amount of contracts immediately, because it doesn't matter whether we pay 56 cents, 59 cents, or shit, even 62 cents. Because I guarantee you this contract, when it opened up, if you take a look at where Bed Bath & Beyond opened up that morning, I believe, I don't even remember exactly where it came through because it came down a little bit, but it still opened up at $26. Those contracts were probably worth, I don't know, maybe $7 at that time. All right, so you have a massive gain in such a short period of time. This is a very, very bullish, all right, this is what they call a sweep. All right, this is why whenever you're looking at, the options flow, when you see these sweeps come through, okay, and they're at the ask, you always raise awareness when there's unusual volume, which is what they call unusual whales. All right, you could check out this guy's software. He does a great job. I don't know him personally. I don't have any links to this, but you can check it out. He does a great job, and it's good to study options flow. I've talked about it obviously in numerous of my videos, but this is somebody that knew exactly what was happening. And of course, it was announced after hours, a 1 billion 3-year share repurchase plan happening, and of course the stock absolutely ripped. So my whole correlation behind this is you have the information that the institutions are still in on this. We've talked about this numerous times on where AMC stands. And a lot of people have gotten discouraged. There are some people that are like, dude, I've done the research. I know exactly where it stands. But other people have gotten impatient on this. Okay. It's like I say, follow, or what actually I should say, what Unusual Whale says, follow the flow. But the institutions are still involved in this play for a reason. And like you see, you have a lot of action. I was taking a look at the options flow coming into AMC on the close of Friday. It's not going to be too much, in my opinion, because anybody who's buying a 1 week out would have to buy for the 12th on AMC, and you're immediately getting, theta burned over the weekend. And because if AMC was reporting before market open, I could see a lot of flow coming in, but pay attention to the flow happening towards the end of the day. It's going to give a really good indication on who knows exactly what is happening. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.